Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make is a cinnamon chip coffee cake. This particular coffee cake, we're going to be using the cinnamon chip morsels. It's by the, a very known brand chocolate that's in the dark brown and silver packages. When this cake bakes up, the whole house smells so nice because you can smell that cinnamon. So let's get started. First, we're going to start off with butter, of course, and we're going to need 1 cup, which is 2 sticks of butter. I cut it up into small pieces, and it's been at room temperature. So I'm just going to put this in my mixing bowl here. You can also use your hand mixer, but I find the stand is a lot easier and quicker for my videos. So I'm just going to start to cream and break up that butter. The next thing that you're going to be putting in is 1 cup of granulated sugar to your butter. And just beat that till it's well combined, and it's quite smooth, and it looks very light and fluffy. I'm going to bring up my speed a little bit. And that was 1 cup. Okay, once you've got that all together, just want to get to the sides a little bit here. Okay, and it will look quite fluffy. Okay. The next thing that you're going to be putting in is eggs. And you're going to need 2 eggs at room temperature. I'm going to beat 1 in at a time. Then I'll put the second one in. Once it's combined. Alright, here's the second one. I'm going to raise my speed a little bit. Tends to stick to the side, so I'm trying to get that all together here in this mixing bowl here. Okay, let's beat that for just another second or so. Okay, you're also going to be needing vanilla, so put a ½ teaspoon of vanilla in, and again just start beating that all in. This next ingredient, I think, is what really gives these coffee cake moisture, and it gives a real lightness to the texture, so it's not real heavy and dense. You're going to be using 3/4 cup of applesauce, and you can use whatever type of applesauce that you prefer. You can use the unsweetened, or go ahead, you can use the regular with sweetened in it, so it's up to you. Just want to get that all out, and we'll beat that in just till it's combined, and that doesn't take very long at all. I'm going to raise my speed a little. Okay, and once again I want to clean up those sides and get to the bottom of my bowl. And it looks like it needs just a little bit more beating. Okay, while that's beating, we are going to work on our dry ingredients. And what you're going to be needing is 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to be putting in a teaspoon of baking soda into your flour, and you're also going to be putting in a ½ teaspoon of salt. And then with my spoon, I'm just going to stir it all together, and we're going to start slowly putting the dry into the wet. And this you don't have to beat very long at all, just till it's all moistened and well combined. That should go pretty quick. And And we're just putting a little at a time so that the flour doesn't go all over the kitchen. Okay, that was the 2½ cups. I'm going to raise my speed just to make sure that everything is well combined. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now let me take my panel out of here. Get my excess off. And we'll set that aside. Okay. And I want to show you the batter, how light and fluffy this is. It really comes out quite light in texture. All right. Now what we're going to do is, of course, is to put those cinnamon chips in, or cinnamon morsels. Now you're going to use 1 2/3 cup of that. That's about 10-ounce bag that you can buy of these, and just fold them into your batter. Okay, that was 1 2/3. Now the next thing is optional. If you want to put in nuts, go ahead and chop up a cup of your favorite nuts, maybe pecans or cashews or walnuts or whatever that you like. Or you can leave it out, and the coffee cake comes out really delicious without the nuts. But if you want to, like I said, put your favorite nut in there, you need at least 1 cup of chopped nuts. Okay, there you go. You can see this pretty batter. The next thing is you do want to have a well greased and floured, dust your pan with flour. And it should be at least holding 12 cups of your batter. I'm going to just start putting this in a little at a time. I don't want to put it all in one place here. I want to be able to get the batter all the way around. Now you're going to bake this cake at 350 degrees, and it's going to take you anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes at 350. Now when it comes out of the oven, you'll want to put it on your cooling rack for about 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes though, go ahead and turn it out onto your cooling rack. Don't leave it in the pan. You'll want to be able to get it out so it doesn't stick and then break up for you. So I usually take mine out of the pan after it sits on that cooling rack for 15 minutes. Okay? And I'll show you here what that looks like. And then I'm just using a knife just to kind of spread this evenly. Okay? All right. Set that aside. Okay, so it'll look like this when you put it in the oven at 350, again, from 45 to 50 minutes. I start checking mine around 40 because, as we realize, all ovens set up so differently. So let me rinse my hands real quickly because I'd like to show you what the cake looks like once it's baked up. Okay, now you can also put a glaze on it. If you don't want to put a sugar glaze, you can dust it with powdered sugar, and this cake really, well, it tastes fantastic. Now if you want to make the glaze, use about 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar to 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk or water, depending on the thickness that you want, that type of thing. But this is how it'll come out of the oven. It has a nice look to it. Let's go ahead and cut into it, and then maybe you'll be able to see its texture. So we'll cut piece out of here. It is extremely light and delicate. It's not going to be a real dense coffee cake. And this particular one that I made, I did not put the nuts in, but as you saw, the one that I just made for you now, there is nuts in it. But either way, it's, oh, with the cinnamon and the nuts and the powdered sugar glaze, what a great tasting little coffee cake for with a cup of coffee, cup of tea, a cold glass of milk, that type of thing. It is a really tasty little cake, coffee cake. So that's it for me today. If you try this recipe and you like it, leave a comment because I'd like to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching Diane Lovetobake, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon.